Welcome to the online course on Effective Communication Skills, Module 5, Lecture 2. In this lecture, we will be looking at job interviews and resume building. By the end of this lecture, you will be able to learn how to create an effective resume, how to prepare for job interviews, and also best practices for success in the hiring process. What is a resume? A resume is a document that summarizes your qualifications, experience, and skills for potential employers. It is important to build a proper resume because it gives the first impression on recruiters, and it highlights achievements and expertise, and it helps us secure the job interviews. There are four different types of resumes. The first one is the chronological resume, where you list the work experience in order. And the second one is the functional resume, where you focus on skills rather than experience. The third type of resume is a combination of both the chronological and functional resume. And the fourth one is the targeted resume, where you customize for a specific job. Now let's look at the resume format and structure. First, we need to give the contact information. Then we give the summary or the objective statement. Thirdly, we give our work experience. And fourthly, we give our educational qualifications. And fifthly, we enlist all our skills. And finally, we conclude by giving them a picture of all your certifications and in order to write an effective summer resume, we need to keep it concise, just 2 to 4 sentences in each category, and focusing on achievements and key skills is important. For example, one can describe themselves as results driven marketing specialist with 5 plus years of experience, increasing brand awareness and revenue growth, skilled in digimarketing, content strategy, and team leaders. Showcasing our work experience using action verbs like managed, developed, implemented, etc. is very important. We need to focus on achievements and not just duties. For example, increased sales by 30% through targeted digital campaigns. In order to optimize resume for ATS, that is tracking system, one needs to use industry specific keywords, avoid excessive formatting, and one needs to save the document in PDF or Word document. Now let's look at the common resume mistakes that are to be avoided. Spelling and grammatical errors should be avoided, and we need to include only relevant information, and irrelevant information should not be included. We need to use a professional email address. Generally, people tend to use unprofessional email addresses, so that should be avoided. And we need to submit a generic resume. Now let's look at the different types of job interviews. The first one is the in-person interview, which is the traditional variety that happens face to face. The second one is more recent virtual interviews, especially after the COVID. We have interviews being conducted on Zoom, Skype, G-Talk, etc. Then we have panel interviews, especially for competitive exams like UPSC. The applicants face these panel interviews where there are multiple interviewers. Then the next type of interview is the behavioral interview, which focuses on past experiences. Then we have the case study interviews, where an assessment is done in order to solve a problem. Apart from these main types of interviews, we also have counseling interviews, promotion interviews, appraisal interviews, and exit interviews and stress interviews. How to prepare for an interview? Firstly, we need to research the company and the role that we have applied for. Review the job description, practice answering common questions, and prepare questions to ask the interviewer. Let's look at the common job interview questions that we tend to face. Tell me about yourself. Why do you want to work here? What are your strengths and weaknesses? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Describe a time you handled a challenging situation. How to answer behavioral questions. For example, handling customer complaints leading to a 20% improvement in satisfaction. For that, we have the STAR method, where S stands for situation, wherein you have to describe the context. T for task, explain your responsibility. Thirdly, action, detail what you did. And R stands for result, where you share the outcome. So, this STAR method is very effective when you answer the behavioral questions. Coming to the next aspect, dressing, dressing for success. So, business formal is suitable for corporate jobs, finance, and law, and business casuals are suitable for tech jobs, marketing, and startups. And the smart casual wear is suitable for creative roles, relaxed and environments. Here are some body language and communication tips. While attending an interview, we need to maintain good posture, make eye contact with the interviewers, offer a firm handshake, and speak clearly and confidently. An interview is not just about answering questions, but the interviewee can ask the interviewer some questions like, what does a typical day look like for this role? What are the biggest challenges in this position? How do you measure success in this role? What are the opportunities for growth? How to handle difficult interview questions like salary expectations, for example. Provide a range based on the market research. Job gaps. Explain with honesty and focus on skills gained, and about conflict resolution. Share a constructive example. Apart from the interview itself, there are some post interview etiquettes like send a thank you email within 24 hours, express gratitude and reaffirm interest in the role, follow up after a week if there is no response. While negotiating salary and benefits, research industry salary benchmarks and emphasize your value and skills. Be prepared to discuss benefits like healthcare, PTO, bonuses, etc. Before concluding the lecture, I would like to give you some final tips. Craft a tailored, error free resume. Prepare thoroughly for interviews. Dress and communicate professionally. Follow up and negotiate smartly. Stay confident and persistent in your job search. Wish you all the very best. Thank you.